Welcome to the Woodland Pear. This is our chunky knit pumpkin that we're going to make today. And if you haven't seen the other pumpkin DIYs, you got to see them. They're just too good. So let's get into it. Okay, so we've got what we need for to make our pumpkin. Really basic. We need some chenille yarn. This is one skein of the chenille yarn. And this color is called Taupe. This is from Hobby Lobby. And I did get this like 40 or 50% off. I did buy this back in the summertime. And so they still have it though. I know they've got tons of colors, you guys. This is like a mustardy. I don't have the label to tell you, but this is a mustardy. They had white, they had brown, they had orange, and they have, pink and like a real pretty aqua. They have all colors. So you can make this to whatever color you want. We have a little bit of stuffing. You can use as much or as little as you want of this. And the only other thing you need, a pair of scissors and your hands. Okay, so I'm going to unwind some of this here. And we're going to make, we're going to have a little bit of a tail hanging off the edge of the table. And we are going to make a slip knot. Okay, so basically a slip knot is that. Okay, so let me show you again. Our tail, you want enough of a tail. You don't want to have a little tiny tail. You need enough. So whatever, 14 inches, something like that. Okay, so we've got a loop. And then we're going through the back of the loop and pulling the loop through. Okay, we're going to do that again, pulling through. So we're going to make 9 slip knots. Leaving our little loop here about the same size. We want these kind of close, close together, not right on top of each other, but not real far away. So we've got 3. Here's our next loop. Through the back. Pull it up. Okay, 4. Make our loop. Through the back. Number 5. Number 6. Seven. 8. 8, and here's number 9. Okay. So we have our 9 loops, and they're all about the same size. Our 9 slip knots, pardon me. So we're going to take these around, put that tail in the middle, and now we're going to flip our yarn over to the other side. Okay, all my yarn's going to stay on my left side now. So I am taking the end, okay, here was our loops. I'm circling that around, tail's in the middle, and I'm taking this end, and I'm going back through that first loop, okay, and pushing this down towards the table to make another loop, okay, pushing through the next loop, pushing through the next loop, and our table sliding around on the table. That's a good thing right now. If I had a tablecloth on here, it just would be too difficult. So you're better off on a slick surface. Okay, pushing down through. And all of our loops, we're trying to keep those about the same size. And about the same distance in between, because that's going to be our channels and then our little knitted, you know, places where we're sticking that loop through. That's what's forming this, and this is the space in between, where our chenille is in between. So hopefully this is making sense. Like I said, I want to do the whole sweater. I don't want to start with just the basics. And this will really make you feel like a sense of you really did something. And I love those kind of projects. And so this is one of those projects. So depending how many times we go around our circle and push this fabric through, or this chenille through our loops, is going to make our height of our pumpkin. Okay, how many loops, how many slip knots you made in the beginning, that determines the width of your pumpkin. Okay, so just still going around here. Still working off the same side. We're just repeating the same exact thing over and over again, and actually we're going counterclockwise around because I am doing this sort of with my left hand. Pushing through and giving that a little pull. See how this is starting to curl up? That's because we're getting sides now. In the beginning it was laying flat on the table, but now we're actually starting to form sides on our pumpkin. So that's a good thing. That's what we want. So there we're getting our little, starting of our little channels of knitted. Each time we pull that loop through, it's making like that chain there. See here, I almost pulled through the wrong loop. And if you do that and something, you know, doesn't look right, I did have two loops on, I did this and then I took it out because there were two loops. And that's because I went through this top loop, which isn't actually what I should have done. I should have went through this. So our loops are kind of hanging down now because of the way this is curving. So kind of keep yourself in check there with where your loop is, and that'll kind of help you, that's helping me to stay on track anyways. But if you make a mistake, it's really easy. These are just slip knots and they just pull right out, or sort of like a slip knot. I'm not really sure what the proper term is for this. I am not, like I said, I don't know my terminology that well. I can do a little bit of knitting, but I'm not, can't make that sweater yet. So anyways, we just keep going around here. Paying attention to our loops. See how they're kind of hanging down? It's really easy to make a mistake. So guys, this is really all we're going to do until we decide that our pumpkin sides are the height that we want. And I am just kind of eyeballing how high. You could go around 6 times, you could go around 5. We've gone around a few times here. So that's really up to you. Five, 6, 7 times around. You could go really high if you want a really tall pumpkin. This is a really nice project to do on a chilly day like today. And every time we get to back to our place where our tail is, that was another revolution around. So it looks like maybe we'll go around another time or two and see how things look. But this is where we are right now. And our inside stitch is very pretty too. And guys, the first one of these that I made, I did it inside out. And it looked kind of like a beehive, which actually it was kind of pretty. Honeycomb, it looked like. So I had to take it apart. And actually all I would have had to have done was turn it inside out. So if that happens to you, before you tear the whole thing out, see if you can flip it inside out. So stopping and taking a little observation here of what's happening. We still got our thread in the middle. We've got like a little bit of a cylinder thing going, and this was where we started, and this is where I am. And just to show you, this was our first time around, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This is our 9th time around. So we're just going to go to our last loop and to our starting point, which would be our last slip knot. So this was number 8, and this would be number 9, and we're going to stop right there. And what I'm going to do is, so we've got our top and bottom. Doesn't matter which is which, but I'm going to just cut this off. And I'm going to take my tail and go through from the inside just like I did on the rest. Pull through. That was loop number 1. Number 2. Okay, number 3. Basically, we're just going to tie this up like it's a drawstring bag. Okay, so that's all we're going to do. Going through every one of our loops the same exact way we did, just pulling the whole string through instead of just putting the loop through. Catching all those stitches so nothing comes loose. So basically you almost have like a little hat right now. And so we just have that little hole in the center, and I'm gonna just feed that in there into the inside. And look at that. Okay, there's our, that could be our bottom, it could be the top, doesn't matter, whichever looks best, you know, you could put on the top. So now basically we're going to do the same thing with the other side. So we've got some stuffing here. And I'm not putting a lot of stuffing. You can do as much or as little as you want. You could even put, you know, you could put anything in here. Some recycled something. You could put a, really, you could put anything in here, guys. An old little t-shirt or something. Okay, so we've got our stuffing. There's our bottom. Here's our top. And we're just going to do the same thing, going through those loops and giving it a little pull gently, like a little drawstring purse or something. And like I said, it didn't take much skill, and look at what you can make here. Okay, we need to go through one more time, it looks like, to attach that, finish that off. And I didn't tie any knots on this. I didn't weave it, you know, through anything else. I think it's pretty tight. This is just such an easy little thing to make. Okay, and I'm just going to cut some of this off and stick the rest of it inside. And you guys, oh my gosh, look how cute is that. And you've got, I'm going to say this is the bottom because it's not as cute as the top. And although they're still both really nice. And I want to show you again, here was our first one that we did. And I'm going to get a few little options for you for stems I want to show you. So I will be right back. Okay, so this was, like I said, this was one that I had previously made. I want to share how I did that. This is, guys, you have all kinds of little options for stems. Okay, this is a little piece of birch that fell, and I picked it up on a walk and cut it up into some little pieces. You could stick something like that in there. This is a piece of driftwood, and you know, the little pieces, people go for the big pieces on the beach. When you're there, it doesn't matter if you go and it's, you know, as long as everything isn't frozen solid, you can find driftwood, let me tell you. I have all kinds of cute little pieces, and when I picked this up last summer, I thought, you know what, that is the perfect piece to be a stem for some kind of a pumpkin. And look at, that is a cutie. We've got, this is a spool out of my, this is an old wooden spool, okay? And that's a really cute little stem. You could use, this is just a dowel rod. This was the end of a paint sponge brush. And, you know, even when you think you don't have stuff, That would be nice with a little leaf. And then we have a clothespin here. I'm not gluing anything on my precious work here. Not to say that you couldn't, but I've got a piece of felt. And you guys, this is just a beautiful piece. It looks like it's a lot more expensive than what it was. This is 25 cents from the craft store. Can't tell you which one I got it at because I'm not sure. But they all have different colors. If you don't find a color that looks nice with your decor, look somewhere else. You'll find another color in another store. So I'm just cutting a piece, and it doesn't have to be anything special, you know, size, just whatever you think. And I'm just cutting like that first one that I did, kind of like a pumpkin-y shape leaf. And you can do this as intricate or not as you want. Okay, it's not even a perfect cut there, but it doesn't have to be. It's just a leaf. Okay, little cute leaf on your work. And all I did to create that was just give this little pinch in the middle and stick it inside of this clothespin and stick. Okay, so the fold should be facing up. So that's all I did for this, and it's as cute as it could be, and that's it. Okay, let me show you again. I don't know if I got that in the camera. So that is what we've got. Okay, very cute. Another leaf could just be just a simple, you know, just a simple leaf like this. You could glue it on. You could, you know, just stick it in there with this little stem, and it's very cute. If this was red, this would be a darling apple. That could even be a teacher gift. Oh my gosh, they would love that. So anyways, that's all there is to it. I'm not gluing my stems in because I have found the more pumpkins that I make with the stems on them that are attached, they're kind of hard to store. I don't know if you guys have had that issue. You'll have to let me know. But I don't know. I guess I've been making a few too many pumpkins. But, you know, it's just kind of nice. Next year I might want to change it. I might want to use these stems for something different. And again, for storing their, it's just a little hard sometimes to, you know, not have, actually the real pumpkin stems are a little bit trickier. But anyways, guys, these were just so fun to make, and what a sense of accomplishment you will feel if you are like me at all. And I just feel like this is just really, really special. And a very simple project, very fun to make. And I hope that you know, have a little fun on a rainy day with about, probably, the yarn was $7.99 and 40% off. I got it for about probably $4, $4.25, and a little bit of stuffing or an old t-shirt or something, and a little bit of felt, and some cute little kind of a stem. You could even use a little, I have tiny little wooden spoons, and oh my gosh, that would be so cute too. So anyways, guys, thanks so much for joining me. I hope you go and make yourself a cute little pumpkin. We've made velvet pumpkins. We've done, oh my gosh, sweater, the knitted pumpkin, the velvet pumpkin, and the chunky, or the teddy bear pumpkin, and that's a really cute, they're all really good. So I told you they'd be good, and I'm trying to give you the best that I've got here. So anyways, thanks so much. Make sure you subscribe, and happy fall, you guys.